And we are the Coalition, loud and proud, outrage porn-free, civilly disobedient media, broadcasting on the worldwide Coalition Radio Network. Tonight, we are in one of my favorite places in the planet. We are at the Centredale Revival in scenic North Providence, Rhode Island. It's a beautiful establishment. If you haven't had a chance to come down here, please do. The food is amazing. They've done a fabulous job. It's just a gorgeous spot. It gives me a little bit of a New York feel in North Providence. But the best part about it are the people who run it. So take a chance, take a moment, make the ride from Warwick or, God forbid, Cumberland to come to the Centredale Revival. Joining me tonight, I am at a fundraiser for Alan Waters. He's running for the United States Congress, CD1, as we like to say in Rhode Island.
CD1.
Currently held by, well, we won't mention the name. We'll have a little fun with this tonight because Alan is committed to bringing a conservative voice to a district, to an election that really hasn't had one, well, for a while. And it's a boots-on-the-ground campaign, as evidenced by his appearance here tonight, fundraising and pressing the flash, having conversations with people, engaging them on the issues. Alan, congratulations on your run.
Thank you very much.
Are you having fun?
I'm having fun because it's something that I believe in, and so I love to climb that mountain every day because this is possible. This is possible. I believe that we can win the congressional seat.
Absolutely. No, in the coalition, what we're most interested in is avoiding the trap of handicapping elections. That seems to be the obsession of the media. We're not particularly interested in candidates fundraising. We're not interested in candidates polling. We're not interested in any of that. We want to know why that candidate should win, and that comes down to issues. Issues. We're at a point in Rhode Island history where I believe we're on the last bailout. You know, for the last 20 or so years, Rhode Island has managed to survive what some would consider the unsurvivable, and yet there's always been a bailout. There's always been some federal money. You know, we're seeing inflation numbers that finally point out we've reached a point where the Fed just can't keep printing money. Inflation is a paramount concern to Rhode Islanders. What are your thoughts on inflation, and what do you think has brought us to this point where we're experiencing 6-7% inflation?
Well, one of the biggest reasons, Pat, is this. It's the tax, borrow, and spend policies, especially of the Democratic Party, and that is ultimately, if there's too much money and not enough production and productivity, it's going to start pushing up prices. And once it gets going, now the question is when's it going to stop? Because we know that the Federal Reserve has kept interest rates perhaps artificially low, and they're going to have to stop perhaps chasing that by raising rates. But one of the biggest reasons why we have inflation is because we're spending money and we're printing dollars, and that has to stop.
Right, and the current inhabitor of the office sees no problem with that. It appears that there's really no end to federal largesse. Does anything like a free lunch actually exist?
There's never going to be a free lunch because think of it this way. Our nation is $29 trillion in debt.
Wow.
That's about $85,000 of debt for every single person. That means a family of four has $350,000 of national debt. Why doesn't our congressional delegation talk about those type of things? Because it's fiscal responsibility. We have like a congressman, they're going to push America over the cliff. I'm here to help stop that.
Excellent. We talk about sometimes the mission creep that exists between offices. You know, someone might be running for a state office, and they talk about federal issues on a state. Ultimately, Congress controls the purse strings of the United States.
Yes, it does.
And we haven't even really addressed, thank God, some of the issues that the current president campaigned on. You know, free tuition, tuition debt elimination. And there's even a conversation about expanding the minimum wage above the $15 an hour because, shockingly, prices have increased since they raised it to $15 an hour. Does Rhode Island? Do Rhode Island leaders need an education in economics? Is there an economics intervention that needs to happen during this campaign?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, we just need fiscal responsibility. The federal government should not be spending more money than it takes in. So we need leaders, we need representatives, representing people of Rhode Island, and the federal representation is we have to stop spending money that we aren't earning, and we need to bring that in line. We also need to reduce the size of the federal government. You know, I believe in things such as not only fiscal responsibility, but I believe in limited government. Our federal government has grown too large, and we need to cut it.
Let's just say you're elected to Congress. Is there any one committee or any one area that you particularly want to embrace as a congressman? Understanding, first-term congressmen don't always get the pick of the litter, as they say, but is there an area that you'd like to direct yourself to as a United States congressman from Rhode Island?
Well, you know what? One of the things that I really want to do is work in the educational committees. And this is one of the reasons why. First of all, I believe in things such as school choice. You know, Pat, I am a fourth-generation resident of Providence. I'm a graduate of Providence Public Schools. When I see the disaster that so many of our students can't read, can't write, we need school choice, because the model of the teachers' unions ruling and puppeteering the Democratic elected officials, and that in fact the taxpayers are putting more and more money into what I call the hole, when the ultimate result is, if our students aren't educated, and education is the key to a bright future. We need, and I believe that school choice, let the money follow the child, let children not be limited to education by their zip code.
Excellent point. And clearly the Federal Department of Education has broad powers in things like curriculum. Is it time to bring our curriculum back home to the fundamentals? I mean, it sounds cliche, but reading, writing, arithmetic?
Well, you know what? The curriculum business has, it's costing our nation, and it's not working. We need to bring it back to what we call old-fashioned reading, writing, arithmetic, and certainly all the basic sciences. And you know what? You don't need any fancy curriculum consultation for that. We need to go back to the future. Remember, I'm 66 years old. I remember when we put a man on the moon. We did that with good old-fashioned American education and a slide rule.
Yep. No, so true, so true. What type of campaign are you looking to run? Is it going to be a good old-fashioned retail campaign? Are you going to do the door-to-door to door-to-door? Are you going to go, Buddy Cianci, the late great Vincent A. Buddy Cianci once mentioned that he would attend the opening of an envelope. Are you ready to take this to the streets and force the issue?
One of the ways that this campaign is going to win is through a grassroots campaign, from Woonsocket to Newport and Jamestown. But that said, the battle's going to be in the city. You see, U.S. Representative David Cicilline probably thinks that he has blacks and Hispanics locked, but he does not. We realize that the powers that be in the state of Rhode Island are not doing the job. The poverty, the lack of education, the lack of opportunities, it goes on. And so we just, as a resident of the city, as somebody that's family has been here since the 1800s, I know that I can talk to the people, and David Cicilline and the elite power structure in the state of Rhode Island has failed the people in the community, and that's where we're going to win.
We always love to give a candidate an opportunity for what we lovingly refer to on the coalition as shameless self-promotion. So tell us where folks can find out more about your campaign, your website, your social media, and if I understand you might have another event later on this week. Where are people going to be able to see you in the coming weeks?
Well, this week we're going to be at the Brood Awakenings in Warwick on Bald Hill Road. That's Thursday at 6 p.m. But my web address is Allen, A-L-L-E-N-R, that's my middle initial, Rodney, Waters, W-A-T-E-R-S, AllenRWaters.com. You can find me on Facebook, Alan Waters for Congress, and I really like to tweet, so you can see me at Twitter, at Alan R. Waters, and I come strong because I believe this country's in trouble, and we're going to try to make it better.
Excellent. Congratulations on your election, and we look forward to seeing you, if you will, on the electoral field of battle.
Thank you, Pat.